Us as a church. Out of all the liturgical seasons, Advent is the shortest and is not complete because the fourth week of Advent usually falls with Christmas being in the middle of it. But we heard in today's gospel that we need to be watchful and diligent. What does that mean? We have to be prepared. Every year we celebrate Christmas and the message is the same. We make room in our hearts for the preparation for Jesus' coming as we celebrate his birthday, but above all, we prepare ourselves for when he comes in glory, his second time, or if he calls us home individually before he comes again in glory. But the message is the same. Be vigilant, be watchful. Yet society tells us that we skip the season of Advent and we go right into Christmas. All of us are very busy now because we're preparing for Christmas, getting gifts, parties, all these things, and we can forget about stopping, slowing down, and breathing as we enter into this season of Advent to help us to prepare for Christ's coming. And with the way Christmas has become commercialized, we're expected to join in this hustle and bustle. But we need to pause. We have to stop for a moment. Jesus tells us the story about the merchant or the landowner who went away. And it's just a common practice that the landowner would leave to go invest and to bring more money, etc., while he would leave his servants in charge. But they did not know when the master was going to return. So they had to make sure that they were constantly preparing and doing what they needed to do to make sure that the farm or the vineyard was running smoothly, because they didn't know when the master would come, because he would just appear out of nowhere. And it sort of is the same message that Jesus is trying to relay to us, that he's going to come when we least expect him. So are we prepared? That's the question. Are we prepared? Now, before we enter into December 1st tomorrow, I challenge all of us to take a day, say start at 7 a.m. and go to like 10 p.m., and look at those time slots. We all say we're very, very busy. But I guarantee there is at least 15 minutes periodically throughout the course of the day that is ours. What are we going to do with that slot? Are we going to fill it up with noise? Will we fill it up with playing with gadgets or TV or talking? Or will we take that 15 minutes and give it to the Lord? Whether we be praying a rosary, praying over the scriptures, maybe even just spending quiet time by turning everything off and saying, Lord, I give this time to you. And maybe we will even hear his voice speaking to us through our own mind thoughts. Or we take the time to do some spiritual readings. Or to think about what this season is all about. It's about preparation. It's about being diligent. It's also about being patient. And during this season, patience is something that wears thin, because we're being pulled in so many different directions. But this is a good opportunity for us to sort of pull back from what society wants us to do and enter into the liturgical season by giving the Lord some extra time. It will also help us to be better when we're a little on edge with everything that needs to be done before the 25th, before the 24th. See, literally, Advent is really only 23 days long, where Lent is a lot longer. So, my friends, here's my challenge for us. Will we budget time throughout the course of this season, daily? How about, besides what we automatically do for our prayers, but where we spend some quiet time with our Lord? See what happens when we do this. It will help us to be prepared. It will help us to ground ourselves in focus and heed the gospel message of being watchful, of being alert, and not asleep. Because we don't know when our Lord is going to